our first point is it was an illegal search. And this is if
Search,
the
which
court's
search?
assumption.
Which search? It was illegal.
First the snip at Othram, then the snip at the FBI, and then the trash pool.
So you're talking about the DNA testing of the material left allegedly on the knife sheath.
I'm talking about the Idaho State Police Forensics Lab taking a piece of evidence given to them by Moscow Police Department, collected at the scene, developing a STR profile, uploading it into CODIS, and I think that's the King case that says that's fine. I know Idaho has statutes on CODIS, uploading it there and producing nothing. There are no results there. I'm talking about the next set of moves that are super secret that happen when there's a portion of the DNA taken and it's searched by Othram to create a snip. And then when that doesn't produce anything, the FBI says, okay, here we go. Let's search the snip ourselves. That's what I'm talking about. Those are the problems. As far as asserting family
Specific DNA tests of the sample that goes from legitimate to illegitimate?
Yes, Your Honor, I think the Davis case is on point. If the court's theory that this is a lawful piece of evidence taken from the crime scene, the sheath.
Not my theory. I'm just trying to understand your position in light of the case law and in light of the state's arguments. I'm trying to find where the gristle is in this.
I'm adopting the court's hypothesis for this purpose, that the knife sheath was taken. I'm adopting it only for that purpose. And I'm relying on the Davis case that says subsequent searches need a warrant.
And remind me, Davis was the cell phone?
No, Davis was not the cell phone. Davis was blood, a sample with blood. The cell phone case is
Give me the
Carpenter.
site to that.
I'm sorry?
Can you give me the site to the Davis case?
I can. Give me 2 seconds. 2 seconds and glasses.
So the argument that she's trying to make, she's trying to say that, all right, the knife sheath DNA, the DNA was taken by the lab, the police lab, and it was, I think it was STR, short tandem repeats. That test was done, and the sample was compared to the CODIS database. There was no hit.
That's right.
Now, that DNA is given to the FBI, and they use something called SNPs, single nucleotide polymorphism. Wow, I went to school once.
Good job.
That stuff. And that's what Othram Lab uses, and that's how within investigative genetic genealogy, they develop a family tree. And through that single nucleotide polymorphism, they build a family tree, and somehow that family tree connects back to Brian Kohberger, to his father, I believe, and then it was connected to Brian Kohberger when they took a buccal swab from his cheek. It was a hit to that DNA left on the knife sheath. Now, the position of Ann Taylor is that every time they do a different DNA test, whether it be STR, single short tandem repeats, PCR, polymerase chain reaction, or SNPs, single nucleotide polymorphism, they have to get a search warrant. And I think there's no case law to that. And again, as I said to you, Mike, you are the lawyer here. Has case law not caught up to the technology?
Well, Bill, in that respect, that you could say that Ann Taylor does have something of a point. You got to give her some credit, because we've always talked about fingerprinting and blood and things like that, but this is very, very new. This is really new stuff, new territory, and so she's trying to analyze, make an analogy. There's a case in Idaho, a Davis case, that talked about blood and blood being held by a third party, meaning like a lab or something like that. And so we haven't read the case, and there was only a mention in a concurring opinion about the case where that offered that there should be a search warrant for a second search of blood evidence. But that's it. It wasn't the majority opinion. It was a concurring opinion and had to deal with blood. And at that point, she's talking about it. The case, I'm not sure how many years old it is, but it doesn't have anything to do with fingerprinting, doesn't have anything to do with DNA. It's an old case dealing with blood. So it's probably many years old, but that's it. But, look, she's doing her best. And somewhere along the line, now with investigative genetic genealogy, state police and in all 50 states will have to probably come to some sort of terms of agreement about how they go about searching databases and to make sure that this issue cannot be raised in the future if successful here. We'll see.